Okay, welcome to part 3. The first part I showed you how to get the file from the Windows host to the Ubuntu Server virtual machine. The second one I showed you how to unzip it and to install the files. Now I'm going to show you where it's installed and what do we need to do post-install. So let's dive right into it. And it's installed in a directory called, I'm just going to list the directory, so it's usr/local/calpont. Calpont is the company that created InfiniDB. So there we see a bunch of directories, and the next thing we're going to do is do a post install, or just run a post install script. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So usr/local/, so I'm going to do this as sudo. So let me run local/calpont/bin. That's the binary folder, and we have a post install script. So let's go ahead and run that. Okay, and the next step is to go ahead and actually run the post configure script. So let me do that. So that's also under usr local, that's calpont/bin/post configure. And let me go ahead and run that, and it's configuring. So the first question it asks you is select the type of system server install. One is a single server install, it installs everything on one server, and two is multi-server install. So I need to go a little bit into the details of what the architecture is. I'm going to skip that part since I'm just installing it on this one server and I want all the components to be installed on this server. I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I will select one, and it's performing the single server install. It's asking you for a system name. I'm going to call it the MyInfiniDB. So that's good enough. So let's go ahead and enter, and then select the type of data source, data storage. So again, I'm not using a SAN or an external data storage, so I will pick one. And it's asking me to enter the list of DB root IDs assigned to the module PM1. So in this case, it's the performance module. PM stands for performance module. There's a user module, performance module, and the actual data storage. All of these components I'm going to install, or I am installing on this server. So in this case, I will just type in 1,2. Don't want to get into the details here, but that's the default. So let's go ahead and set that up. Now, the SNMP trap process is something that sends messages to a network monitoring tool. In this case, we could disable it. So since we're not going to be monitoring anything, let's go ahead and disable it. So I will click yes, and it disables that. And it's almost done installing. So there's just a couple of things to do, and then it will be done installing. So got to be patient here. Okay, so it's starting the MySQL server. It runs a MySQL server on top of it, and it just does it for some part of the management. And again, I need to go get into the details of how InfiniDB is implemented, but it's fairly straightforward, and I'll show you how to use the MySQL client in a little bit to create a database. All right, there you go. After about a minute or so, it's all done. And so one of the things it asks you to do is enter this IDB MySQL to access the InfiniDB MySQL console, and CC to access the InfiniDB OAM console. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and type the IDB MySQL and see what happens. And sure enough, it gives me an IDB MySQL command not found. So what I need to do is I need to go ahead and set the aliases. So where do I find the aliases? So again, the answer is in, let's go ahead and list the contents of usr/local/calpont. and /bin. And here there's like a bunch of things, and the calpont alias is the file that we need to run. You can see that right here. So that's the file that we need to run. So let's go ahead and run that. So in order to run that, I just do this period /usr, and let me just pick up the command from here. So instead of an ls, I just type the up arrow key. So usr local calpont /bin /calpont alias. So I'm just running the script file. Now that it's run, I should have all of the shortcuts. I'm going to type in IDB MySQL, and sure enough, it shows you the familiar MySQL client tool. Let's see what databases are there. Databases, show databases, and there are like a bunch of databases. The usual MySQL and the test database are present, so you can go to the test database, see what's in there, show tables. There are none, so you can go ahead and create tables, you can give permissions to users, and so on and so forth. I'm going to do that in the next video, and I'm also going to show you how to connect to this in the InfiniDB server using a MySQL Workbench.